Good morning all. Paul from CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Monday morning, September 29th. We're looking at Window Trader's market profile of the ES and NQ. So a bit of a weird day for me on Friday is lost internet around 12:30. Not only did I lose that, I have AT&T for internet. I have Verizon for my cell phone. It affected Verizon. The only thing I could do was make a phone call. Couldn't download anything, couldn't text. Absolute nightmare. Thank goodness I wasn't in a position. I actually had to call Verizon to have them reset my phone on Friday night after my internet finally came back up. So very bizarre. I'm also, unfortunately, have to leave early today as I have some appointments, so there won't be any video tonight. But let's go over a bit what happened Friday and how the week ended up. So ES, for the fifth time this year, did not get an IB. Now, again, to put that into context, in both 23 and 24 combined, it was only 3 times. Now, we've had large ranges this year, right? Some of the largest we've ever seen. However, that wasn't really the case on Friday. So I'm quite surprised they didn't get an IB. NQ, on the other hand, it took till K period to get it, and they didn't get it by much. Okay? Now, the Bears took baby steps last week. They put the daily into balance on Wednesday. They took it down on Thursday. But, as has been the Bears' case all year, that's all they did. Friday, they gave that up to go back to balance. And now it looks like the daily is going back to up. I was using a 2-day balance. Now, we still have 90 minutes to go prior to the opening. So if we were to come all the way back into Friday's range, it would still be a 2-day balance. But right now we're looking at gap higher inside of Wednesday's upper distribution in both ES and in NQ. Okay? If we do, I'll call the daily up. The reason I was only calling 2-day balance, we never got into the upper distribution from Wednesday. Right now it looks like they're attempting to get into it, so I would call the daily up. The other thing the Bears failed to do was get last week's low. They got pretty close to it, but never took it out. So that shows you the strength of the bulls, especially in the longer time frames, as we are up on all three, the monthly and weekly. Also, righty, right? 2-day balance. They're going back up on the daily. So there's a good chance once the market opens today, we're up on all 3 of these time frames, 3 indices, 3 time frames. Now you have jolts tomorrow, you have unemployment claims Thursday, non-farm payroll Friday. Continuously have numbers that send these algos into a tizzy. Useless, but it happens. So again, every day it changes, especially since we're dealing with short-term players, right? They change on a dime. No loyalty whatsoever. But at least for this morning, it looks like we are going to put all of our time frames up. Remember, ES has a lot of poor structure to clean up. The all-time high is poor, and the following day's high is weak. So they certainly want to take care of that. If, by the way, in the next 90 minutes we open above the all-time high, not only would you have a daily gap, you would also have a weekly gap, right? The daily gap would be from Friday's high. The weekly gap would be above the all-time high in ES. So just everything's on the table. Where, again, to give a game plan this early, I started early because I want to show you the charts since I'm not going to be here again tonight, and Friday I didn't do a recap. My best advice is to join this trading room, okay? We give you both sides of the market at all times, okay? Now, let's go to the charts just quickly. So first we'll start with the S&P. So again, we have a very healthy monthly. Don't forget, tomorrow's the last day of the quarter. This has been a very, very good quarter. Again, market's been strong, so your monthly is very healthy, okay? In fact, let's go through all 3 of them each time frame. Same thing with NQ. Look at the distance we're getting from previous months, right? That tells you how a trend is looking. Righty too, even though they've come off their high. All right? Now we know for a fact that this monthly is incredibly stretched out, but it doesn't matter. You can't even think about the monthly till the weekly goes into balance, and they couldn't do that last week. Here's your weekly in IWM. Up, yep, came back in pretty good, but unless you take out last week's low, the weekly is up, right? Here is the NASDAQ, up, one time frame and up 3 weeks. Here's the S&P, up, one time frame and up 3 weeks. And that's what a dividend involved, right? Even with the dividend, which was $1.83, right? They couldn't take out the previous week's low in SPY. Powerful market. And then here's your daily. Coming into today, a 2-day balance. If we gap higher, our gap will be our main focus, right? All three of them the same. 2-day balance. There's the NQ coming out of it to the upside. IWM. 2-day balance. Come out of it to the upside. Again, thank you so much for liking and subscribing to this channel. Good luck trading today. We'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.